Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 4 o'clock news on the street 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube, sponsored by TN the power to make it work. In the headlines, COVID-19 cases rising in the elderly, vaccine rush not to blame. Caribbean Airlines resumes flights to New York, Toronto and Caribbean Islands, and regionally CARICOM leaders to host an emergency meeting to discuss the assassination of Haiti's president. And now the news in detail. Over the past month, the Ministry of Health has observed an increasing number of COVID-19 cases in people over 60 years. However, the ministry's division technical director, Dr. Iwer Tv, says no data points to the vaccine rush fiasco as driving the spread. Epidemiologist Dr. Hines pointed out the trend in cases during his virus update at Wednesday's Ministry of Health virtual press conference. Dr. Hines said the ministry monitored for spikes 2 weeks after the incidents occurred and actually did not see one. In more news, Caribbean Airlines cargo will resume scheduled connections between several Caribbean destinations such as New York and Toronto. In a statement, it said with Trinidad and Tobago's borders reopening on July 17th, it has restored its route network. The leading Caribbean carrier will transport cargo in the belly hold of its Boeing 737 and ATR aircraft on select passenger routes, it said. Regionally, CARICOM leaders will host an emergency meeting on Wednesday to discuss the assassination of Haiti's President Jovenel Moïse. Moïse was killed by gunmen around 1 a.m. on Wednesday at his home. His wife, Martine, was injured and taken to hospital. She later died. The act has been condemned by several individual CARICOM leaders as well as the U.S. and the United Nations. Haiti's borders were subsequently closed and a state of siege, 1 tier above a state of emergency, was declared. And that was the 4 o'clock news on the street 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube, sponsored by TN the power to make it work. Recapping the headlines, COVID-19 cases rising in the elderly, vaccine rush not to blame. Caribbean Airlines resumes flights to New York, Toronto and Caribbean Islands, and regionally CARICOM leaders to host an emergency meeting to discuss the assassination of Haiti's president. Do enjoy your afternoon and please be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas. Aisha Wells, she's up next.